Welcome back to episode 22 of Orlando Out of Context. I'm Brian.
Hey, I'm Stephanie.
Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context, and visit us at orlandooutofcontext.com, and listen and subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play, and make sure you go leave us that review on
5
iTunes.
stars.
So this episode is kind of a hodgepodge of some. Let's just shout out to Orlando Weekly, because
Hey, Orlando Weekly.
basically
We're just going to give you our opinions on your topics.
I went to Orlando Weekly and pulled up their some of their stories that were interesting to us, and so we are going to just kind of talk and have a conversation about some of these things.
Just shoot the shit. Just shoot the shit on what's up in Orlando.
So this is just going to be a hodgepodge of things. So go visit OrlandoWeekly.com. I love Orlando Weekly. They do have a print. They have a print magazine that they put out that's free, that's in locations throughout Orlando. They have a good website with articles, and you can kind of see what's happening and stay up to date with what's going on in Orlando. And then they also put us on a list of, I think, the top 25
new Instagram accounts.
Locals
should be following.
Yes, that locals should be following. What do you do? Think about it every night before you go to sleep?
No,
you knew the name right off.
Get the hell out of here.
You spat that out real quick.
Because I saw you struggling. I was trying to help you. It was exciting.
It was exciting.
And I had to have that moment all by myself. Because you were somewhere else. I don't remember where you... I was at work, and you were somewhere else.
I think that was the day that Cheryl and I were at the spa.
Oh, probably. Yes, because I remember thinking, oh, his phone is probably in the locker, and he's not going to get this. But it was just exciting because I clicked into the ad, and I was like looking through it, and I immediately screenshotted it and sent it to you and said,
you did.
I said, I want to be on this list next year.
And then
and as I clicked, 10, 9, 8, clicking through and I was like, oh, that's my picture. That's my account. Yes.
We are on that list.
Even though it's like, obviously it doesn't really mean anything because it's really not that big of a deal. But to me, it was.
Well, I think that for us being a new podcast and having a new Instagram account, it was kind of meaningful for us that we're actually being found by somebody, and Orlando Weekly found us. And
we did get quite a bit of followers on our Instagram account from that.
So Orlando Weekly, can we get another shout out?
Hey, girl.
We need some more followers. Give us another shout out. Maybe we'll push. We need to get friendly with Orlando Weekly.
Honestly, one of our biggest goals is to just have authentic followers. Like, we want everyone that follows our page to follow it for a good reason.
That's right.
So we're like less about quantity, more about quality.
I agree. And I think we do pretty well.
Yeah.
We're doing pretty well. We're learning, we both have full-time jobs, and this is definitely a side thing, and it's a passion project, and we do love Orlando, and, it is what it is. And we're learning a lot as we go, so we're having fun. So anyway, let me give you a teaser of this episode so you kind of know what's going on and what to stay tuned for. So we're going to talk about a little bit about the Gardens of Galaxy roller coaster at Epcot. There was some new things revealed at the what's it called? It's the International, which is another thing we're going to talk about when we get to that. Anyway, we're going to talk about Gardens of the Galaxy. And the new attraction.
Was it the theme park convention?
Yes, exactly. We're going to talk about that in a second.
We should go. Can we go without paying?
Well, let me talk about that in a second, okay? And then we're going to talk about Brightline, the train that's going to go from here to Miami. There's some developments on that, so stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Universal Orlando, and they're giving their employees a raise. Whoop, whoop.
Holler!
And we'll talk a little bit about Disney as well, giving their employees a raise. And then we're going to talk about something interesting with Taco Bell. So stay tuned for
Everybody loves Taco Bell.
Tidbit about Taco Bell. And then we also have some drama about Artegon Marketplace. There's some illegal action going on at the abandoned Artegon marketplace, so you need to stay tuned for what's illegal things are happening there. And then we are going to talk about a top amusement park company coming to...
Who might be coming to Orlando. Next?
Man, we're getting kind of good at this teasing thing.
It's like we went to new school.
So it's like we went to new school. That would be being a journalism major. News school.
Yes, news school.
Okay, so you want to stay tuned all the way through to get some of these details. Of course, we are not claiming that we are the first ones to report this. We are basically saying that Orlando,
none of these are original ideas.
Orlando,
simply our thoughts and expressions.
Orlando Weekly has provided all these news stories, so please go visit them at orlandoweekly.com. We appreciate you, Orlando Weekly. So the first one being Disney reveals a new storytelling ride vehicles for Guardians of the Galaxy. So these ride vehicles are basically going to be on a roller coaster track, and they're going to be able to turn and point you into the direction of where you need to see what's going on in the story element of the roller coaster, which to me, okay.
Is that like Spider-Man? I feel like that's like
exactly.
Spider-Man.
So this is like not new, because Ratatouille in Paris, at Disneyland Paris at the Walt Disney Studios, which I've been to, I'm just rubbing it in Steph's face.
Thanks.
They use something similar. Of course, it's not a roller coaster, and it's not on a track. It's the trackless ride vehicle. But come on, it's like what Harry Potter uses. It's nothing new to me. So I don't know why Disney is claiming it's new. But anyways, this was during a breakfast panel at the IAAPA 2018, which is the International Amusement Attraction, conference.
Association.
I don't know what it stands for. I've been to this conference before because shout out to Sherry Marshall.
What have you never told me about this?
I have told you about this.
You did not.
So my friend Sherry Marshall is the president at Science Museum Oklahoma. I worked at Science Museum for, I think, about 6 months. But during that time, I got to know Sherry, which she wasn't the president at the time. But I love Sherry. And Sherry, it was in town because, IAAPA, which we got to figure out how to say that. IAPA? Let's just call it IAPA.
IAPA?
Was in town. And I saw on Facebook, I barely go on Facebook, but I saw that she posted that she was here in town on Facebook. And she didn't tell me that she was here.
Well, damn, Sherry.
And so I commented out to her, hey, you didn't tell me that you were in town. What's the deal? And then she replies back, well, I'm a little bit hurt that I haven't been mentioned on your podcast because I've been listening. So shout out to Sherry over at
Sherry, I want to go to the amusement park conference.
So one year, Sherry came and she invited me along, and I got to
Sherry,
go
how
along.
about this? Next time we'll all go together. All three of us will go together, and you can come and be a guest, and then you can be on our podcast.
Sherry would be fantastic on the podcast,
and we can talk about amusement park.
Sherry would be a great guest on the podcast. So next year, when she comes for IAPA next year, we're gonna have Sherry.
So what is why is she doing that? What does that have to do with the Science Museum?
When the Science Museum, Science Museum, museums have to keep up with things as well and bring attractions, and they have to have people to build their attractions or their displays or their exhibits.
Yeah.
All right. So that's why Sherry comes. She looks to see what innovations are there. She has some partnerships with some of the vendors there.
That's awesome that they send her here from Oklahoma.
She sends herself because she's the boss.
Oh, excuse
Sherry's
me.
probably going to be like, why are you talking like this?
That's why you can pay for us to go too. I always wanted to go. Like, amusement parks just fascinate me. Like, ever since I've been a Disney cast member, like looking at how they function and how like the everyday operation of something as big as an amusement park, and all the advancements in the industry as far as ride vehicles and just everything. It just amazes me. I would love to go to something like this to see what's out there.
So the year that I went to IAAPA, I did get to see the floor, the expo floor. It was pretty cool. But the coolest part was we did get to go one night to the closed Universal or the Harry Potter's, both sides of Harry Potter for us.
Now I'm remembering.
And so that's how I've experienced Harry Potter. That's how I experienced Harry Potter for the first time, and it was cool. It was very cool. But anyway, so that's my experience with IAAPA. But these ride vehicles that they're saying new for the Guardians of the Galaxy, I feel like it's going to be cool, and they're finally using technology that they should be using, Disney, but I wouldn't say it's new. But I'm looking forward to the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster at Epcot. The building, we've seen the building being built. It's huge.
It's really big.
And it reminds me, I told Steph this already, I think it was you that I told it. It reminds me when Indiana Jones at Disneyland was being built, and I was a kid at the time, and we visited, and we got to see the steel structure of what was going to be the attraction. And it's just cool to see it at that point, and to know that there's going to be an awesome attraction inside. Well, hopefully it's going to be awesome. So, and then at the bottom of this article at OrlandoWeekly.com, they have the exterior photo of what the facade is going to look like of the attraction, and it keeps the Universe of Energy look to it a little bit. I'm glad
they're keeping it because I think it looks cool.
And it shows what it's going to look like. It looks cool. It looks awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And this is going to open in 2021, I believe.
Really? Why so far?
Well, they're just built. That's only a few years away. It's going to be for the 50th anniversary of the Walt Disney World Resort. Hey, look, it's taking them forever to build the Skyliner throughout. That's taking forever. But yeah, I just don't think that this new it's not a new ride vehicle. The technology is already there. Universal's been using it for a while.
For the Walt Disney World Resort, it's new.
Well, I'm glad that Disney is finally getting on board with this new technology because Universal's been doing it for a while. So the second thing that we want to talk about is Brightline. So Brightline is changing their name.
How are they changing their name when they have barely even opened?
Because they have this new partnership. So the partnership is with Richard Branson, which of course is responsible for Virgin Airlines. At one point it was Virgin Rexor as well, which we do miss at Disney Springs or what was Downtown Disney. But it looks like Brightline is going into partnership with Richard Branson. So because that strong Virgin branding is in place, they're going to use that Virgin brand on the trains. I think this is a great idea. I don't think there was anything wrong with the Brightline name, but I think it's a great idea to brand because Virgin Airlines, even though I've never been on it, has a great reputation.
So now we're going to say all aboard the Virgin train?
All aboard the Virgin train.
Woo-hoo.
Toot toot.
I wonder if they're going to paint them red.
I'm sure they will. It's going to be.
I wonder if they'll be as luxurious as I've heard. The Virgin planes are just awesome.
Well, I've seen some pictures because I follow Brightline on Instagram, and their trains do seem nice. So I don't think it's going to be a difficult transition on the interior, but I'm sure they're gonna change the exterior to be red with the Virgin logo. I think it's a great idea. I think it's fun, and Virgin has a great reputation, and I think it makes sense. And the article says that Richard has been looking for an opportunity to get into trains, and so this is a way into that. And I read in this article, which I wasn't familiar with before, but it's going to connect us to Tampa as well.
Oh, that would be awesome for concerts and stuff.
Right now, the Brightline, which is soon going to be Virgin Trains USA, it goes between West Palm Beach, Fort Laud, and then downtown Miami. Eventually, it's going to connect from Orlando, West Palm Beach, Fort Laud, and Miami, which is going to be awesome when that comes into place. I'm not sure what this article doesn't say necessarily what the timeline is for Orlando to join, but it does mention Tampa. And I really wasn't familiar with Tampa being a part of the project, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
That connects really, except for Jacksonville and Tallahassee, all the major cities in Florida.
Because we're in a great spot, honestly. Anywhere we want to go is just a short drive, but the train, this will make it even better.
Well, I don't. The drive to Miami is boring.
Yeah.
And
But see, if you're on the train, like, you can do stuff. Like, you could potentially be getting work done. You know, if you wanted to go
we could
for
be podcasting on the train.
could be podcasting on the train. We should do that one time.
When it finally opens, we will.
Yeah.
From here to Orlando or Miami. So I thought that was a cool story. I think that's awesome that they're able to make that partnership and make the brand stronger. And I'm looking forward to that.
Probably they
train.
needed more money. I mean, that train station looks so huge.
The train station is already.
Oh my God.
The train station is already built for the train here in Orlando. It is at the Orlando International Airport, and it's huge and gorgeous.
Like, it's really
from the
big.
outside.
It almost looks as big as, like, some parts of the airport.
And you know they're building a Terminal C at the airport.
No, I did not know.
Yes, that's another topic for another day. All right, so the next one is the pay increase happening over at Universal, and they are going to, by February of next year, they are going to be raising their minimum to $12 an hour.
That's really sad. I would have guessed they would have already been making $12 an hour.
No.
Don't you think? No? I don't know.
No.
I guess I'm far removed from a frontline job like that. I mean, I worked that for many years.
I think that pay rate is freaking awesome. And then the article mentions, of course, that Disney has already come into an agreement. Now, Disney is going to raise wages to $15. The minimum
awesome.
being 15 by 2021. So they have a few years to implement that. There were some other things that Disney's union got worked in, like they're getting some kind of back pay. And we have a friend at Disney who has gotten that.
Yeah, they just cut him a check.
We've had a few friends that
for the back pay.
have had those checks cut.
Which I don't quite understand how that works. Like, I feel like if they're going to make a change, that's great, but why should they be obligated to pay you for something that happened for hours you worked before a positive change was made?
I don't know exactly the logistics or whatever of it, but it might be from the moment they started the negotiations or something.
Yeah.
So, anyway... Good for Universal employees and Disney employees that they're getting their pay. Because, you know, when we work
I'm happy to see that because everything in the parks go up all the time. The price of food, the price of drinks, the price of admission. So that needs to be passed along to the amazing frontline cast members that work very hard to create what you get as a guest.
Yep. I think, I don't know what the stipulations are with the Disney wages going to 15. I don't know if it's true or not. This is not in the article by Orlando Weekly. This is something that I've heard or being speculated is that because they're getting paid that much at this point, there are some things that will tighten up. You won't be able to get away with as much in terms of like union, because right now if you it happened a lot when if you got in trouble, the union would fight for you and you would get your job back even though you got in trouble for something that you should have been fired for. So I think that there might be some more accountability to the cast members, which at the end of the day would be good, because I saw stuff all the time that people came back and they should have never come back. So we'll see. I don't know what everything that was negotiated with Disney, but I think it's good. I think prices will increase in Orlando.
Yeah.
Like if everyone's making 15, because like there's so many cast members at Disney and Universal. If everyone's making now what they should be making, then our prices are all going to go up.
It's crazy.
So
the amount of money we spend on everything in life. And everything just keeps going up and up. Yeah, but I think you started saying it. I think when we worked at Disney, I swear to you, I think I was making like 8 something an hour.
Yeah.
And this was in 2006.
No.
Isn't that nuts?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it nuts that we once lived on $8 an hour?
Mm-hmm.
That blows my freaking mind.
Yep. Okay, so the next one this is kind of just a fun one. And I know Stephanie doesn't really like Taco Bell. But Taco Bell's kind of coming, but the trend is coming back because the 90s are back. And so Taco Bell is very kind of a 90s thing. And so you can now book private parties at the Taco Bell in Ocoee.
We know where your next birthday party is going to be.
But this is like, it's very much geared, and now I'm on...
Oh my gosh, they have balloons that look like the packets of sauce. I'm down for that.
So now I'm at TacoBellParty.com. And this is the first time Stephanie's seeing this. And they got the cast of Vanderpump Rules, which is a Bravo series. They have the cast of that show as the models for this Party by Taco Bell campaign.
And the title says Hot Sauce Soiree. And hot is spelled Haute.
It's hot saucy soiree.
Oh, saucy soiree.
Saucy. So they are basically advertising that you're going to select the time and place for your saucy soiree. So how do you say that?
Soiree.
Soiree. Sorry.
Set the mood with one of our tantalizing Taco Bell party decor kits.
And then enhance with the ambiance with tasteful accoutrements.
What the hell is that word?
And then
that's not even a Mexican word.
It's French. And then provide payment and confirm reservation, and then make an interest and bask in the glorious extravaganza of tacos, friends, and tacos.
Damn, they really talked this up. It kind of makes me want to go.
This is fun, though. It's just kind of fun. So I guess they're really advertising this to adults.
So what's the prices there? It says prices start... Go back down.
Here?
Prices start at $25 and include reserved seating in our restaurant and a Taco Bell party decor kit. Oh my gosh. Taco Bell party decor kit. 1 table runner, 10 paper plates, 1 photo prop kit. Oh my god.
So the food is not included in that $25. But this is just, it's fun.
You see it says VIP seating for 2 to 10 people. You and I could go have our own party.
We could. We could have a Orlando Out of Context meetup.
I think we should.
But
nobody would want to meet us.
I mean, not in Ocoee. Where is Ocoee even?
We could take Brian here for his birthday. This is his favorite restaurant. He would love to have a party here.
It's just kind of fun. So
I just love how they were like getting so crazy with the description. What seriously? What is that word?
Accoutrements.
I need you to Google that word right now.
Accoutrements is just like accessories.
I've never heard that word in my whole life.
Really?
I love learning new words.
Okay, we're gonna learn
accoutrements.
Additional items of dress or equipment, or other items carried or worn by a person or used for a particular activity.
Accoutrement.
Accoutrement.
Accoutrement. Okay.
It's of French origin.
Why would they use that word?
Because they're trying to be fancy.
That's so fancy. I don't even know the meaning to it.
Anyway, so I just thought this was kind of fun.
It's cool. And in Vegas, they have a wedding chapel.
Do they? Taco Bell does?
Yes. You have a wedding chapel, and you can get married there and then have Taco Bell reception.
Wow.
But see, this is called isn't this the Taco Bell Cantina?
I don't think this is a cantina. So what is the Taco Bell Cantina?
So now they have places called the Taco Bell Cantina, and these places are Taco Bells that serve liquor.
Really?
They serve alcohol. I don't know if they serve liquor. They serve beer. An urban restaurant design, open kitchen, custom menu, shareable appetizers, sangria, wine, and beer.
Oh, wow. And we're seeing pictures now of these cantinas.
And they're saying there's one near UCF on University Boulevard.
Well, Taco Bell definitely has made a huge comeback. I like Taco Bell. But they definitely made a huge comeback over, I would say, the last year and a half, just with kind of the resurgence of the 90s. So just fun thing you can do if you're in Ocoee or if you're nearby, or you really want to, party. If you want to make the drive over to have your party at Taco Bell. And then the next one is, okay, so we've talked about this, the Auto Museum at Artegon. We talked about it a few episodes ago that this was coming because Artegon has been empty since January of this year or last year.
I don't know.
I forget. I think it's might be this year. Anyway, and this guy who bought it has this huge collection of automobiles.
So is this open to the public now?
No, it's not. So this auto museum that's going to be, or supposedly still is going to be in Artegon, is by Miami developer Michael Deezer, however you pronounce his name. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Anyways, he's been bringing his cars into what was once Artegon, and he has now racked up a $200 daily fine, which I'm sure for him is nothing. And I guess it kicked in recently because there was some things in the parking lot, like replicas of a ship and a plane were just sitting in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. Basically, the zoning for, you can't just like decide I'm going to have a museum wherever I'm going to have a museum.
Even if you own or rent the property,
you still have to do zoning. Like, it has to be zoned properly, and you have to have the right permits.
People would be doing, like, checking for that stuff. Like, when you build, like, when you're going into a business venture, you would think, like, there's steps that you take so you're not just blowing money.
Well, we've experienced it firsthand with new businesses in Orlando, how people don't really put all the ducks in order. And
that's true.
This is, I think, an example of that. I'm sure he'll make sure everything is fixed.
But especially to me, when it comes to, like, taking huge unmovable things and just placing them places, you know what I mean? Like,
so anyway, there's pictures on the article of Orlando Weekly of like the planes dismantled in like the back alleys of the Artegon. It's just weird. I get a weird vibe from this guy anyway, and I'm curious to see really what happens.
Why do you get a weird vibe from him?
I just think it's like seedy and like cheesy. Like, if you look at this article, the picture of the article, like these cars that he has in here, he's not doing any remodeling to Artegon, it seems. Like,
he's just putting the cars in the spots that used to be in there.
He's just throwing the cars in there, and what is he going to do? Just charge a $25 admission to go and see the cars? I don't know. To me, it's just not well thought out, and it's not what I want for that area. It's just throwing cars into an empty building and calling it a museum.
I just don't understand, like, the point of it. I mean, as far as a business venture goes, if this is your personal collection, I mean, cool. I guess everyone has their own hobbies and collections, but I don't know. Maybe he just wants to share it with the world. I don't know. Like, what the point of it? It seems like it would be very expensive is what I mean, really. Like, to rent out that whole mall. Like,
well, he's not renting. He owns it, so.
Well, I mean, like, to own that space just to put cars in there.
Yeah.
That's not like, it's kind of a one and done type of thing. Like, somebody pays to get in there and that's it. It's not like you're going to be selling things or generating other income other than maybe food and snacks. But,
well, he has this whole like indoor theme park down in Miami, and so the talk is that he might have something like that here in this space. So we'll see what comes of it. It's just, I don't know. To me, it's a little seedy and kind of weird. And go look at the pictures at OrlandoWeekly.com, and just kind of get an idea, feel for it. It's just, I don't know.
Meh.
I want more for the space. For that's a really prime spot.
Location.
It's right across from the International Violent Outlet.
Draws a huge crowd there.
I mean, and we've experienced that. Remember, we talked about the limited parking that's there at the outlets. I'm surprised that the outlets didn't fight to get that
to build a parking
that
garage.
lot or that land there, because the Bass Pro's already there. And Bass Pro's not going anywhere, supposedly, because supposedly that's the busiest Bass Pro in the nation, supposedly, is what I've heard. And then Cinemark is there. So if they would have, if the outlets would have bought on that, I mean, they would be set up with some major tenants already, and then put in others. So, and build a parking garage. My goodness!
For cripe's sake, build us a goddamn parking garage.
So the final
so we can spend all the money.
The final thing that I wanted to talk about is the amusement park franchise or company that might possibly be coming to Orlando.
Who could it be next?
But that also means that I think that if it happens, the branding might stay for the current one, or it just might get totally switched over to Six Flags. So Six Flags is supposedly, there is a rumor going around that Six Flags might be interested in purchasing SeaWorld. So Orlando Weekly is saying that last week an obscure theme park industry blog, Themed Reality, posted on a Facebook message stating that reliable sources informed me that Six Flags Entertainment Corporation is in talks to purchase all or part of SeaWorld Entertainment, more as details become available. This kind of makes sense because SeaWorld is kind of they're transitioning themselves anyway.
Yeah.
So they're transitioning into less about animals and more about attractions. So it kind of makes sense if maybe they're deciding that they Busch Gardens is, or the Busch, what is it, Anheuser-Busch wants to let go of SeaWorld possibly.
But Anheuser-Busch doesn't even own SeaWorld anymore.
No?
It's a company called InBev. And they bought it out a long time ago.
Okay.
That's why they don't have the beer tasting in the Clydesdales there anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I didn't really realize that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I could see Six Flags coming in. I mean, they already have the roller coasters in SeaWorld. I think that eventually we're going to see the animal piece of it fade out, and I definitely could see that.
It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad for me because I grew up with SeaWorld because I grew up in Pennsylvania. So
and you used to have one up there.
Yeah, my grandparents took us to the one that was in Sandusky, Ohio. And then when I moved here, I've always lived like within a mile of SeaWorld. And I mean, I don't know. It's just sad. It would just be sad to me to see it go. I mean, inevitably it is going to go because of everything that's been happening in the media and after the documentary Blackfish was released, and everyone thinks that it's so bad about the way the animals are treated, so on and so forth. But I love it. I like it. I like seeing the animal shows.
Well, I definitely, the thing that I'll say that's great about SeaWorld is their Christmas. They do a really good Christmas. Yes. And it doesn't cost extra. Everything with their Christmas that they do for Christmas is included in a regular ticket.
I just got an email today that they're starting their Blue Friday specials.
What's that?
They're Black Friday specials, but they call them blue because of the ocean.
And what's the special?
I think, I was just looking for one-day tickets because that's all I wanted, and they had them for $40 as opposed to the $70, I think. But they have like all kinds of, you can get a deal on annual passes. You can get 2 parks. You can get the water park, which is across the street, and one day there and one day at SeaWorld.
Yeah, so I have a page up now. So if you're interested in going to SeaWorld, it says Orlando weekday ticket is as low as $39.99. Single park ticket $49.99.
SeaWorld and Aquatica $59.99. That's a deal.
Aquatica is an awesome water park. If you haven't been to Aquatica, definitely, and if you're a water park person, love Aquatica. My favorite thing of Aquatica is the Russian river.
The Rose Rapids.
The rapids, yes. Because it's kind of like a lazy river, but not so lazy because it is rapids.
It like pushes you and you just float along.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just a fast-paced lazy river.
This is a good deal too. SeaWorld, Orlando, and Busch Gardens Tampa, 2 parks ticket is $69.99. That's a deal. So
you can save over 40% on Discovery Cove, which I've never been to.
You would like it.
And then there's some other things that you can upgrade your ticket for, like experiences with dolphins and stuff. But this is their, like Steph said,
I was thinking I wanted to buy a single day ticket in case Hanson comes back for the food festival.
Mm-hmm.
Because last year they were here in March for the food festival. So I want to be ready with my discounted ticket.
So you can just buy the discounted ticket and just have it on hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. The sale ends November 26th.
Hurry, hurry, hurry. Oh, they also have a cute... Oh, we were...
What?
I just went off into a topic we actually already talked about, but in my mind it was like brand new. For the Christmas event, they have like this really cute little like Christmas village where they have like you can buy this little mug and refill it with hot cocoa. They have a fire. They have carolers, and it's so cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. The thing that I miss about their Christmas celebration is they used to have the Polar Express experience, but they've replace that with I think Rudolph
Stupid.
or something. I think they just lost their deal with or their licensing for the Polar Express. But the Polar Express was cool. If you haven't been to SeaWorld for Christmas,
the
you
ice
should
skating
definitely make it a
show
point.
is everything. I love that.
And then the trees out on the water, it's beautiful. Definitely something. Maybe we'll even talk about it more on the Christmas.
And that's
episode.
what I was thinking too. I was thinking if I didn't use that ticket I bought for Hanson, like if they don't get invited back or they don't come back, that I would use it next Christmas for the Christmas event.
There you go. It's an investment.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. That's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that a little bit. We kind of touching on different tidbits. Let us know if you did, and we can throw in some more episodes like that, touching on kind of news topics and just general discussion about what's happening in Orlando.
And we got a lot of stuff coming up for the holiday season. A lot of things that we're really excited to talk about with you guys.
Yes, so we can kind of tease. We're going to be going to the Winter Garden Theater. We have an interview set up with them, and as well as we're going to be seeing the holiday show that they have there, which is a Christmas story. Yes. So we have that coming up. I think this weekend we're going to go to the Gaylord Ice, which is also a Christmas story.
Yeah.
Which I saw some pictures of that. That looks really cute.
I'm excited.
So, I'm excited.
Have you been to Ice
well.
before?
I've been to Ice before.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been together, I think, once. But we have other things coming up. Last night, we sat down and planned out the rest of the year. So we have the rest of the year planned out for you guys. I don't think we're going to miss any weeks for the rest of the year. And I think it'll take us, what does it take us to episode 30?
Yeah.
Almost, or at least almost.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. So thank you again so much for joining us. Remember to follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context. Visit us at orlandooutofcontext.com. And then please listen and subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. And make sure you go ahead and leave that review on iTunes. Until next time. Yes, 5 stars. Until next time. Bye.
Bye. My voice is coming back, man. That Hanson concert crushed my vocal cords. Seriously, for like a week, my shit was weak. 3 days of screaming and throwing my panties was rough.